Yeah, what's up?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so our audio's good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh wait, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm watching your
So
Twitch.
I have four different Ulduar guides saved and open right now because some of them are like better than others. Some of them like explain the fight better than others. Some of them explain like the boss abilities better than others. So I figured we'll just go through. There's like a lot of bosses. Maybe we don't do them all tonight, but we go through
Right.
like, I don't know, maybe the first five in like really good detail so that we have a good understanding.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do non hard mode first for obvious reasons. Um, Flame Leviathan. So this is the first boss, entirely fought in vehicles in a large area. There are three types of vehicles: Demolisher, Siege Engine, and Chopper. All allow for a driver and a passenger, and the amount of each type of vehicle is limited. So, like, the only problem is that in these 25 guides, it tells you, like, how many you get for 25, but it doesn't tell you how many you get.
Would it be five if it's two per vehicle?
Um, well, I don't. Well, I don't know because, like, in 25, man, it's 5, 5, and 5. Like, you can see here
Oh,
5 demolishers, 5 siege, and 5 choppers. Um, So I don't. I might have to look that up unless somebody who's watching knows. Like maybe it's two, two, and two. Like I don't know in 10 man. Um,
what's the boss fight called?
Flame Leviathan. I'm just trying to see essential special assignments. Maybe I'll figure that out last, or I'll figure it up. Figure it out off stream. Okay, so let's go through this. So all three vehicles allow for a driver and a passenger, so I guess you can also choose like which vehicles you want to have passengers for. So has no threat table. Instead, he chases a
There's
demolisher.
six, by the way.
Okay, so it's
There's
probably
six
two,
in them.
two,
It's
and
two
two.
of each. Yeah, it's two
Okay,
of each.
sweet. Where did you find that?
Googled
Oh, okay.
it.
Okay, when in doubt, Google it out. So chases a demolisher or a siege engine, ramming it, and anyone in ramming range if allowed to close the gap, dealing high physical damage. Gains movement speed over time, casts flame vents, a high raid wide damage that can only be interrupted by the siege engine drivers. Okay, so the choppers don't get chased, so that's good. Also deals some unavoidable raid wide damage, acting as a soft enrage. Okay, so basically you gotta kill him before everything slowly dies. Okay, essentials. Siege engine driver. So I guess we'll go one by one through each one of the vehicles.
Right.
Drivers may ram enemies, dealing low damage and knocking them away. Can also do a short dash forward to escape danger. Irrelevant in normal mode. Okay. So then why is it in the normal mode thing? Anyways, drivers must interrupt flame vents. Can only be done at short range. Estimated difficulty of the roll 2 of 10. Okay. So siege engines can do a ram. Let me see here. Yeah, siege engines can do a ram and an interrupt and a movement speed increase. I
You're
figure.
interrupting the vents.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, siege engines use ram, which is the damage, and interrupt flame vents with electroshock. The passenger can use. Okay, I'll do the passenger one in just a second. So that seems pretty straightforward. You ram and then you interrupt.
Hmm.
Okay. Siege and that's the driver. Siege engine passenger may protect the siege engine with a large shield in case of danger with a long cooldown. Must shoot down flying ads as many as possible with anti rockets. That's kind of cool. Can do pitiful damage with cannonballs, irrelevant in normal mode. Estimated difficulty 1 of 10. Okay. But like all
Wow.
these difficulties are low except for the Demolisher, it looks like. Okay. Shoot down flying ads. Where does it say that here? Siege engine, passenger, air rocket, so shoots down the Pyrite, fires cannon, and has the shield. So I guess the shield is like if you're the one who's getting attacked by the boss, because he only follows one person at a time and they get into close range, then the passenger can use the shield.
Right.
Okay, so this seems pretty straightforward so far. So the siege engine, the main driver does damage and interrupts, and then the passenger does a little bit of damage, has to shoot down the pyrites, and can use a shield if they need it. So that's the first. Friggin' one of three in terms of the vehicles. Digger says, "Goddamn spreadsheets, man! I don't miss being a raid leader." Yeah, I don't know if I actually like raid leading when you know everything. The problem is right now I never progression raided Ulduar, so I have to learn everything so I can explain it properly. Digger, did you like progression raid in Ulduar? Okay, let's go to the second vehicle, the chopper. So the chopper, there's two of them, does not have
Yeah,
a
this is the one I'm
passenger.
gonna do. Yeah, with
Why?
that
Because
difficulty rating, I'm doing that.
estimated difficulty 0 of 10. Oh,
Yeah,
it just serves
serves
no
no purpose.
purpose.
I'm still using it.
Is much faster than other vehicles and cannot be chased by the boss. Can drop
Oh,
oil
beautiful.
patches, do pitiful AoE damage, and heal any passenger.
That's what I'm doing.
Irrelevant in normal mode. Why does it say irrelevant in normal mode though? Like, do you not use them at all?
I guess if it's irrelevant,
But if
maybe it's just used to drive around and heal people.
no, you might as well use them. Flame Leviathan is laughable. Go with one chopper and all the demos you can get. I think though in 10 man you said you can only use two of each, right?
That's what it said on Google from the one source that I looked at.
So it would be two siege engines plus a passenger, so that's four, and then two demolishers plus passengers, that's eight, and then two choppers.
Hmm.
So that's what it seems like. I'll double check after, but yeah. So we'll have maybe the healers in the choppers, right? Because they
Yeah,
can
I'm
do
down for that.
healing. He moves so slow that you don't need a second chopper. But I think in 10 man Digger, it looks like you have four in the siege engines, four in the demolishers, and then two in the choppers. That's what it seems like. I'll double check 10 man after. So let's say what this says for choppers. Sonic Horn is a DPS, Tar is a 10-yard slow, speed boost, first aid kit to heal, and then grab Pyrite. Added later in a nerf, choppers won't be able to grab Pyrite until nerfs. Okay. Choppers should stay in melee range since they cannot be targeted. Okay,
There's
so
three of each, says Digger.
well, like look at this picture. This is a 25-man guide, but this has two of each, and there's two choppers. Oh, there are three of each in 10 man, so there will be extras. Okay, so we probably just take one chopper, and then I guess three of each of the others, and then so that'll be yeah, that'll be more than enough. Okay, let's do the Demolisher, which looks like probably the most important role. So, may shoot cannonballs, which are low damage. May shoot liquid pyrite, costing 10% of the vehicle's mana. It deals low damage on impact, but applies a huge dot, which can be stacked to 10. Almost all the damage dealt to the boss will come from this. It is essential to keep this dot stacked to 10. Okay.
Right.
So this is probably why it's pretty important. Make catapult his passenger like a projectile. Serves no purpose in normal mode. Estimated difficulty of the roll 6 of 10. Okay, so they need to shoot Pyrite and keep their dot up, is basically what it looks like. Let's
Yeah.
look at this second one. Demolisher. Hurl Boulder, main DPS ability. Hurl Pyrite, used to build Pyrite stacks. Ram, secondary DPS ability. Throw Passenger. Okay. I'll read this strategy part at the end. Make catapult. Okay, and then we'll read the last one, and then we'll just compile like our whole strategy here. We'll like bring it all together. Demolisher passenger must shoot down flying adds, as many as possible, with anti-air rockets. Okay. May grab liquid pyrite to refill 50% of the vehicle's mana. It is essential to supply your driver with a constant supply of it. So it definitely seems like the Demolisher is the most important role here. The driver and the passenger. Because the passenger has
Yeah.
to shoot down stuff and grab the liquid pyrite for mana, and then the driver has to apply the dot. May spend 50% of the vehicle's mana to double the vehicle's movement speed for 20 seconds. Should only be used for dire emergencies, e.g. getting chased by the boss. May load himself into the vehicle's catapult. Serves no purpose in normal mode. Okay. So we'll ignore that. Okay, so this one says, ensure to assign range DPS to Demolisher passenger seats and melee DPS to driver or chopper seats. Chopper should stay in melee range. Engines and demolishers kite the boss in a circle around the boss room and DPS the boss. Engine and demolisher passengers shoot down pyrite barrels and grab grounded pyrite. Demolishers must maintain 10 stacks of pyrite. Demolishers launch range passengers onto the boss once enough stacks of pyrite are applied. Choppers should be slowing the boss and feeding demolisher pyrite barrels. The chopper, how do they feed it? I think they just shoot them down, right? I think that the chopper can just help shoot them down. Once on the boss, mounted players must destroy all 4 turrets to stun the boss, increasing his damage taken. Once off the boss, chopper should ferry the thrown players back to a demolisher. Be sure to target the boss sides at all times in order to deal the maximum damage. Rinse and repeat. Okay. If you're targeted by pursued, run away from the boss and use your movement ability. He switches targets every 30 seconds. So it seems like he's only targeting one person. And so
Yeah, and you're supposed to kite him around. I just watched a video on it.
yeah, so if you're a demolisher driver or a siege engine driver, you have to be careful for if he pursues you. Choppers use tar in front of the boss and DPS with Sonic Horn. Demolishers use Hurl Boulder and Hurl Pyrite. Passengers can use Mortar to DPS. Demolishers shoot down the passengers shoot down the Pyrite and collect it with Grab Crate. Okay. Alright. Salvage demolishers stacking pyrite should be more than enough to complete normal mode. You don't need to worry about causing a system shutdown. Okay, so that's why they're saying you don't have to launch people onto the boss. Choppers can't help shoot down, says Sageri too. They have the ability to grab mana barrels. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me scroll up to what Digger said. Before you engage the boss, vehicles spawn near the reset spot. Also, you want your best gear score players in the demos, as their machines will have better stacks. Okay. So it sounds like we want the best gear score, and like the people you trust the most are in the demos, right? Because they have the most important stuff. Choppers can't help shoot down. They have the ability to grab mana barrels. Oh, that's Verm. Hey, Verm. How's it going, man? Verm is Sageri too. Whatever the hell that means. Welcome, welcome. So
Grim just can't stick to a name, eh?
okay, so it seems pretty straightforward. I think you want the highest gear score and like quote unquote most competent people in the demolishers as either the driver or the passenger.
Mhm.
The demolishers and the siege engines and the choppers, I guess, are all doing a little bit of damage. At any one time, the boss is gonna be focused on either a siege engine or a demolisher. They just have to make sure to kite them in a wide circle. The choppers can do a slow. The siege engines need to interrupt and help, and then the passengers help shoot down the adds, the pyrites, and then really it's up to the demolishers to apply the dot and keep it up, and then to have their passengers keep supplying the mana. I think that's it.
Mhm.
I'm here for the knowledge, not to be clowned on. We love you, Verm. We're just riling. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward. What do you think?
You want to see the video? You want to see it in action? It's 40 seconds.
Yeah, you want to send me the link and I'll pull it up?
Yeah, this is what I'm sending you
Maybe
is the first.
we should watch the video first, maybe.
Sure. Where do you want to post it? I'll just send it to you on Discord.
Discord, yeah.
This is, I think, the first 4 normal fights.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
He talks very fast. And the intro is like 10 seconds, so be prepared for that.
Okay, should I move my head here? I'll move my head in. Okay. Who's this guy? Pool Noodle X.
Starting with Flame Leviathan. To begin normal mode, talk to Bran. This will activate all the siege vehicles. You don't need more than one bike on either mode in my opinion, as it's only used to slow the boss for kiting, so...
Okay, we don't need more than one bike in either 10 or 25 men. More than one chopper.
Get as many demolishers with one additional passenger as you can, as well...
As many demolishers... Yeah, so that's the most important one, is the demolishers with a passenger as we can.
As 1 to 2 siege engines on 10, and 2 to 3 on 25 man.
And then 1 to 2 siege engines, okay. Frig, should I make a copy of this and take notes? I probably should. Can I make a copy? Oh no, I can't make a copy. Anyways, we'll remember. So we want 1 chopper, as many demolishers, and then the rest are siege engines.
Making your way through, killing these pillars along the way so they stop summoning the hundreds of ads that are out there. Along the way, you'll find 4 towers to destroy because they buff the boss. And they look like this.
Towers.
They're located here, 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 and here. Once finished, kill these giant guards in front of the gate to summon the boss forth. The actual boss fight is kind of a pushover. It fixates on one target and chases them down until it finds a new target. If you are the target, just kite it in a big oval around the field. The siege tank's main job is to interrupt flame vents, while the demolishers slam their Pyrite barrel button until it breaks, and any bikers in the group can lay tar to slow the...
Okay, so flame vent. Okay, so that's what we want to interrupt. Hurl Pyrite barrel. Hurls an orbital into this, dealing damage but consumes ammo. Okay. And then tar. Okay.
The boss. The gunners in the demos can shoot down Pyrite barrels from the air and hook them in to replenish their driver's resource to keep the boss burning. After Flame Lev, hang a left to fight.
That was it. Okay. So it seems like it's pretty damn easy. No?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So, just to summarize, so we're going to want 1 chopper who's focused on really just slowing and, like, I guess healing if necessary.
Yep.
And, yeah, that's really it. So that's a pretty easy roll. Demolisher is most important. They're going to want to do damage, and they're going to want to...
Is that the one kiting the boss?
Well, he can focus on either the siege engines or the demolishers, just not the chopper. So the chopper is basically just like doing damage and slowing, and can toss in a heal if needed. And then he's going to focus on 1, either siege engine or demolisher, and switch every 30 seconds. So whoever's driving those just need to be weary, and if they get focused, they just need to kite. Continue to do damage. The demolishers have to hurl the Pyrite barrel, and then their passenger needs to be able to grab the Pyrite crate so they can keep enough mana so that the main demolisher driver can keep up the Pyrite stacks. And then the siege engines do a little bit of damage and interrupt. And I think that's it. Hurl boulder, Pyrite, flame vents, yeah. With electroshock. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. 1 choppers, 2 demos, and 2 of the other one. Chopper equals support, honestly. Okay. Alright. You good?
Easy enough.
I just wanted to see, so the Demolisher ability is, here it is. Hurl boulder. Hurl pyrite. Applies dot that stacks. Try to keep these okay. Alright. Looks good to me. Okay, let's go to number 2. We're going to skip the hard modes because we're not trying them the first week or two anyways. What does this say? Optional hard mode. Very hard. Okay. Razorscale. Skippable. Skippable? What the heck? Well, who do we do second? Does it matter what order? Because a lot of these have Ignis second. Or does it not matter what order? Flame Lev. These have Ignis second. Oh, order doesn't matter. Okay. So let's do Ignis?
Ignis.
Yeah, most of these guides have Ignis second. So I'm just going to go to Ignis here. Okay. Skippable medium. You have to clear all 4 bosses regardless. Okay.
Okay.
Razorscale is easier if this matters, says Hika. Okay. Let's do Ignis. Medium difficulty, apparently. Ignis is a single-phase boss with a heavy focus on the off-tank and the healers. It's the closest you'll get to a patchwork DPS meter bragging rights. Okay, let's watch the video first. I find that's a little bit better.
This fight is all about mechanics and battlefield control, and it's pretty much the same for 10 and 25 man with no hard mode. To start, you'll want your main tank to bring the boss over to one of the pools in the room. The boss uses Scorch in a frontal cone that leaves a huge no-no spot on the ground. When tanked in or next to the water, the Scorch does not leave a no-no circle on the ground. There are constructs that come out that cannot be killed unless they're...
Wait, what?
Cone that leaves a huge no-no spot on the ground. When tanked in or next to the water, the Scorch does not leave a no-no circle on the ground. There are constructs that come out that cannot be killed unless they're pulled into a Scorch to bake and then brought into the water once they're molten. So you will need a Scorch on the ground here and there. You then have to hit the adds hard enough for them to shatter. The boss's 2 other abilities are Slag Pot, where he locks somebody in his pot who will need constant healing to stay alive, and then Flame Jets, which when cast, knocks everyone up and interrupts any casting for 6 seconds, so don't be casting when this is coming. Next up is Razorscale, which starts out...
Okay. Tank by water. Okay, so let's see this. Ignis is a single-phase boss with a blah, blah, blah. Scorch. Scorch breathes fire, so no standing in front of the tank. Okay, so everyone stand behind the boss. Every time he scorches, he'll leave burnt ground on the tank's location. It isn't lethal, but shouldn't be stood on for more than a second. Slag Pot grabs a random player. That player cannot move. Let me, can I increase the size here so that... Here, let me zoom in.
So you're supposed to tank him by the water, but you want to allow him to do Scorched once in a blue moon?
I think you want him to Scorch once in a while so that you can pull the adds into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Slag Pot grabs a random player. That player cannot move but can still do most actions like casting heals on himself and will take massive fire damage over the duration. When it expires, the player gains 100% haste for a few seconds to make up for the DPS loss. So I guess whoever gets that's going to need, is going to need spam heals.
Damn, you really want it to be like some crazy caster DPS.
Yeah. Slag Pot charges and grabs a random enemy, targets the target, then takes 7,500 damage every second for 10 seconds. Damn.
Wow, okay. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
7,500 a second. Wow, I'm gonna have to pump.
That's a lot. For 10
For
seconds.
10?
75k over 10 seconds.
That's fine. I can handle that.
So we'll have to put, like I guess that's why they say this is so important for healers.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to keep healing the tank, or one of the healers is gonna have to keep healing the tank, and then someone's gonna have to pump whoever gets slag potted.
I wonder if you do. I guess the move is to like pain sup the tank and then focus on the person in the pot.
I don't know how hard he hits. I don't know how hard he hits the main tank. You know what I mean? I think you'll have to play it by ear. I think it's also going to depend on whoever he picks up. Like if he picks up a squishy clothy, you might want to pain suppression them. Whereas if it's like, if it's like a DPS warrior, DK, like maybe they can pop cooldowns and make things a little bit better.
Slap a bubble on and we'll be fine.
Yeah, you're friggin' disc. It's OP. Flame Jets. High raid-wide damage that also interrupts spells being cast. Concentration Aura plus Aura Mastery will prevent the interrupt. Okay. Right, so that's the AoE. Burning... no, where are we? Here, Flame Jet. Stomps the ground, causing geysers of flame to erupt under all enemies. 5,600 to 6,300 damage. Okay, so it's not a ton of damage. Stop casting to avoid being interrupted, but we're going to need raid heals, basically, is what that is. It's not a ton. Well, it's not nothing. It's like probably going to be 20 to 40% of everybody's HP except for the tank. Hika says there's a few mechanics that are more important in 25, but in 10 I think it's just having the main tank have him not next to the water for the first Scorch and then move to the water for the second. MT can just leave the boss in one spot and semicircle around the new Scorch. Application if the first one runs out. But you'll probably kill it after the first set of adds. Yeah, I don't know how many Scorches we'll want, so I guess we'll have to play it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Construct... Tank and Spank adds. Each one alive greatly increases Ignis's damage. They have a lot of health and shouldn't be DPS, and instead must be kept in burnt ground by the off-tank until they have gained 10 stacks of heat, turning them molten. Molten adds deal increased damage and will turn brittle if brought into the water. Brittle adds die instantly if they are dealt a high enough amount of damage in a single blow, e.g. a crit, dealing high AoE damage around them by shattering.
So you want to let him get 10 stacks, drag him to the water, and then have someone pump him.
Yeah, preferably a ranged. So
yeah.
The main tank has an easier job, but must still ensure the boss is tanked in the proper spots near the water to ease the off-tank's job. Cooldowns can be used freely when he flame jets, especially if he has 1+ stack of his adds. Flame jet is the AoE. The off-tank has a harder task. He must pick adds up and constantly hold threat to the end, bring them to fire patches, preferably without taking damage from the patch, raise their stacks to 10, then lead them to the water and clear off while someone shatters the ad. Right, so the key is like when the ad dies, it does an AoE. So you want the tank to pick up the ad, pull them into the fire, get 10 stacks, pull them into the water, and then move out of the way before it dies. Otherwise, they'll take AoE damage. But you'll probably
right.
Yeah. This fight kind of looks interesting. Kind of looks cool. Essential healers. Spam heals on the slag pot target. Your UI must be able to reflect who that is. Stop casting when flame jets are about to happen unless specified. Otherwise, that paladin conk aura mastery is being used. Yeah, I guess because you don't want to be interrupted. Keep both...
I'm guessing DBM will tell me when he's about to do it anyways.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep both tanks healthy and be wary of pulling threat on the adds when they become molten. Right.
If slag potted, heal yourself. Okay.
If slag potted, heal, yeah. Or I guess use cooldowns if you can't heal. Oh no, this is talking about healers. Essential DPS, do not waste damage on the adds and do not take unnecessary damage from burnt ground. Stop casting when flame jets are about to happen unless specified otherwise that a paladin conk or a mastery is being used. If slag potted, use all survivability you can. Special assignments, 1 DPS will be tasked to deal a large amount of damage in a single blow on brittle adds when they enter the water. Mages or hunters are good for it, though other classes can apply. Okay, this fight kind of looks cool, to be honest. Like, you got to do a little bit of thinking, a little bit of moving. The dad strat, like 15 years ago, was to kite him around the 4 different water pools, but recently it was found it's easier to just hang him out next to one and pump. As long as there's at least one scorch patch on the ground, you're big chillin'. Yeah, that's what, like this guide here, Heka, is basically was showing exactly, I think, what you were saying, right? To kind of treat it as like 4 quadrants. For 10 men, I think you just need someone that hits for 3k with 1 ability to shatter the dudes. Yeah. So that makes sense to me. Druids root constructs in scorch or water patches if necessary. Range DPS swap to brittle constructs and kill them ASAP. Yeah, this looks pretty straightforward. Let's check the WoW TBC guide quickly. Stop casting when he does flame jets. Heal Slagpot. Face the tank away. Kite Deconstructs, and they should be rooted. Once the iron becomes molten, break the root and kite it into the water to make them brittle. Use a hard hitting ability to shatter iron construct once it's brittle. 20% damage for every iron construct alive. Yeah, so we definitely want to have proper ad management, or he'll start friggin' pumping the main tank. Balanced druids and mages are great at dealing with the iron constructs with entangling roots and frost nova. Okay. So this seems pretty straightforward, eh?
This one seems easy, yeah.
Okay. Off-tank is going to be a bit stressed. I think the threat table is weird on those ads. Yeah, a few of the guides have mentioned threat is like super important. Here, off-tank is a harder task. He must pick up ads and constantly hold threat to the end. They like drop threat when they go molten, I think. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe when they like switch with their debuff or whatever, like they drop threat. So, but the DPS shouldn't be damaging them anyways until they're in the water. I guess maybe the healers might get threat. So our off tank just really has to be on their A game. All right. Seems pretty straightforward, no?
Seems very straightforward. This one I'm excited for. This one seems easy.
MD/tricks, yeah. Verm
yeah, when he goes
MD.
molten, maybe you can MD him when he goes molten.
Yeah.
MD to Ojim.
I mean, I think as long as you have only one ad up at a time, it should be fine. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to friggin' Razorscale. This fight kind of looks cool too. Like a lot of these fights look fun. Anyways, let's check out Razorscale. These guys are these videos are super fast.
Coming. Next up is Razorscale, which starts out as a gauntlet full of ads. There isn't a hard mode, and it's similar for both 10 and 25 raids. It's recommended that you have 2 tanks for the fight, as ads can end up bursting one tank down super quickly. The caster ads can be interrupted, so your main focus should be on the big guys who have a huge whirlwind which will wipe your melee. As the fight goes on, fire will rain down from above, and the harpoons behind you will get ready. Fire 2 for 10 man and 4 for 25 man to bring the boss to the ground. She'll be stunned for about 20 seconds before fire breathing in front of her and flying back up unless you get her below 50% HP, which initiates phase 2. She'll stack a fuse armor debuff on the tank, which is why you'll need 2 tanks, as well as a flame buffet on everyone else. Both tanks should kite her out of the fire, and this is where I'd recommend popping Lust. Lastly, we have XT Deconstructor.
Alright. Seems straightforward enough. Easiest fight in the game, says Verm. There are ideally only 3 phases in this fight, but phase 1 and 2 might repeat if DPS is low. In phase 1, ads will be fought until the boss can be grounded. In phase 2, the boss is harmless and nothing can damage the raid except leftover ads. In phase 3, no ads will spawn, but the boss will fight the raid. Okay. Phase 1. Fireballs will hit a few random players every now and then, easily healed, but can add up with other mechanics. Patches of blue fire will spawn on a player. Fire burns. Okay. Dark Iron Sentinels. These are the tall Vrykels. Will OS... one shot, and I think that means non-plates, and might OS plate DPS with Whirlwind. All non-tanks must make sure they don't stay nearby, and the main tank should pick these and only these and keep them out. Dark Rune Guardians and Dark Rune Watchers, both are Iron Dwarves, are tanked by the off-tank and have no noteworthy mechanic aside from doing damage to their main target. The Watchers are interruptible. Neither should be a problem if tanked and killed in due time. Okay, so it sounds like you want 1 tank dedicated to the Vrykels and 1 dedicated to the Dwarves. And then I guess you want ranged focusing the Sentinels and the melee focusing the other 2. Friendly NPCs build turrets over time. These will be clicked by a single assigned player to bring down the boss. Rest of the raid should pay no care to this.
How long are you playing, Josh?
We're not playing. We're going through boss guides.
How long are you going to do?
I don't know, another 20 minutes? Okay. Okay, so these will be clicked by a single assigned player. Okay, so maybe like a ranged or a healer to bring down the boss. If I do remember, Whirlwind doesn't one-shot on 10 man, but it's good practice to not stand next to the big ads for 25. Yeah, we're going to want to build those behaviors. if I do remember correctly, I don't know if the same rule applies for 10-man, but I believe you also want to split into 2 groups because of how spread out the spawn radius is. The only thing that is scary on this fight, I think, is the breath attack, so just don't stand in front of the dragon. Okay. Pick your assigned mobs, deal as much threat as possible, and stay out of the fire. Sentinel tank should ensure no one is close to him. Yeah, so it sounds like you want 1 tank on the Sentinels, aka the Tall Vrykels, and 1 tank on the Iron Dwarves. Healers, pad your meters and don't stay in fire or close to Sentinels. DPS,
easy.
melee should never be near a Sentinel. Range DPS must kill them first. Watch your threat on all adds and interrupt watchers if you can. 1 hunter, or anyone really, will click the harpoon turrets. There is no bad moment to click them. If they're clickable, then they can be clicked with no downside. The only thing that matters is the last one should be clicked instantly when ready. Okay? Yeah, range on big boys, melee on small boys. Okay, phase 2. There are no mechanics in this phase. Adds and fire patches that might be left over will remain. Adds should be cleaved with the boss, except sentinels, which must still be kept out and prioritized by range. All DPS cooldowns, including heroism, must be used here. And healers can freely fix their mana while DPSing as much as they can. If Razorscale has more than 50% HP, she'll slightly damage the raid and fly back up, restarting phase 1. Okay, so we might want to use Lust in phase 2 to get her below 50, and then that triggers phase 3. This seems pretty straightforward. While you're actually fighting the dragon in this phase, there isn't much to be said about it. Fire patches will continue to be dropped, but other mechanics are gone. Razorscale breathes fire, and thus no one but the current tank should face her. Tanks might receive stacks of a debuff that will greatly increase the damage they take, and may swap if the current tanks receive 2+ stacks of the debuff. Okay, so it's pretty much just don't stand in front of the boss and tank swap if we have to. That seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, just looking at this guide. Yeah, so it looks like you want... Okay, this is 25 man, so there's 3 tanks. These first few fights are funny with how little mechanics you need to pay attention to. It starts to get pretty hectic after XT. Yeah, so separate raid into 2 equal groups to deal with incoming adds. Range swap to sentinels. 1 player assigned to use harpoons. Wait to activate 4th harpoon until adds are almost dead. So I guess that's also important. You don't want to activate phase 2 if there's too many adds up. So whoever's clicking on the harpoons, we'll just have to communicate that.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Burn all CDs in phase 2. Razorscale will be grounded. The fight becomes a DPS race, so pump and keep everyone alive. Tanks should swap at 2 to 3 fuse armor stacks. Tanks should slowly kite Razorscale in a circle to avoid fire patches left by flame breath. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward to me. Okay, so avoid fire, ranged kill the big adds, melee kill the small adds, blow cooldowns in phase 2, and then stay out of the way of the front of the boss in phase 3 and tank swap without spinning the boss around at 2 or 3 stacks. Reduces the armor and movement speed of an enemy by 20%, stacks up to 5 times. Yeah, okay. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Are we good with Razorscale?
Yeah, don't stand in front of the boss. Got it.
And don't stand next to the big adds that whirlwind. And don't stand
I'm
in
gonna
the
be in
fire.
I'll be back anyways.
Alright, let's go to XT, which apparently is easy. Hika says, I went down the Ulduar rabbit hole today and accidentally memorized every mechanic from every boss on normal and hard mode. Someone's excited for Ulduar.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do XT.
We have XT Deconstructor. This one does have a hard mode, and I'll cover that in the future. Your main tank holds the boss in the back
Hold
middle
on.
with your
Can
melee
you,
DPS on.
restart it? I have to mute your stream.
bust. Lastly, we have XT Deconstructor.
Why do you have to mute the stream? Oh, because you're not listening to it.
This one does have a hard mode, and I'll cover that in the future. Your main tank holds the boss in the back middle with your melee DPS on it. A few streams of bots will begin flowing out of the junk piles that your ranged DPS should be ready for. There's a walking bomb that blows up on death, a little bot that heals XT if it gets within range, and these big melee AoE bots that your off tank will want to pick up. The boss itself will cast 2 forms of a 10-yard radius living bomb, and a huge damage AoE every 60 seconds called Tantrum. Every 25%, the boss will power down for a moment and spit out its heart, which you then focus all of your firepower into. All damage done is converted to the main boss and doubled when the heart goes back in. Killing the heart, however, initiates heart mode, but otherwise rinse and repeat, and that's it. For the next set of bosses, click here. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, follow, and join.
Okay, this doesn't seem too hard either.
Bigger.
Love that energy. Pool Noodle X is the stupidest game. Yeah. Hard mode on XT is an impossible DPS check. Yeah, that's what I've heard. But the easy mode is so easy that you have to force yourself to stop playing at some point so you don't accidentally enable hard mode. That's what I heard because you don't want to kill the heart. Okay, XT is a boss that alternates between 2 phases. In the first phase, he engages the raid by himself. In the second, he takes increased damage and doesn't fight but summons adds. Okay, when active, XT will regularly place a debuff on a random player. He alternates between 2 debuffs. Searing Light causes heavy damage over time to the player and anybody near it. Gravity Bomb causes nothing over the duration but will detonate when the debuff runs out, damaging the player and his nearby allies while also vacuuming them into the player's position. The correct play in both cases is to not be near allies. Okay. So the person who gets the debuff has to move away. When inactive, XT will technically be untargetable and instead plop down another NPC, his heart, which takes 100% increased damage and carries over all of the damage it takes to the real boss. Destroying the heart enables hard mode, so do not be confused if we ask you to stop DPSing. Okay, so we actually don't want to kill the heart. In the meanwhile, he will stop applying debuffs, though leftovers debuffs might still continue to be dangerous, and instead summon adds. Okay. Repair bots will greatly heal him if they reach him, but historically Warmane has failed to script that, so don't worry, we'll see if they're a problem. If they are, they can be crowd controlled, usually by Frost Nova. Okay, so the repair bots we gotta kill or CC before they get close. Bomb bots are fragile and explode for great damage on death, damaging both players and nearby repair bots alike. So maybe we want, I don't know, range to just kill them, or off tanks. Pummelers are strong tank and spank adds that must be misdirected to the tank. Okay, and killed when possible. They whirlwind, but melee will survive the damage. Okay, so maybe the repair bots and the bomb bots we want ranged to kill, and then the pummelers we want the off tank to pick up. After a while...
Oh. You read Hika's message? It's like when you were running Tempest Keep.
Did you play during Tempest Keep? It's the same shit as that arcane lady. Stack up and people that have the debuff move out. Gravity debuff go left, other debuff go right.
With the lady, it was only one person leaving the group, right?
Yeah. Other debuff go right. Okay, because they might get 2 at the same time.
Do you have to go clockwise?
No, but he alternates between 2. Oh, because I guess if someone gets the debuff and goes left and then he gives out the other one to the next person, you don't want them stacking on top of each other?
Yeah, it's like our boy.
Tanks, nothing except maintaining threat on boss and pummelers. But I guess you want main tank on the boss and then off tank on the pummelers, is what it seems like. Correct, yeah, they come out at the same time. Okay, alright, so that makes sense. So you stack up and one buff goes left and one goes right. Focus heals on Searing Light debuffs. Okay. Your UI must be able to tell who has it and fast. Okay, I'll leave that up to the healers. Deal some damage during heart phases. If you have a debuff, move out of the raid accordingly to either side. If the debuff is Searing Light, run through the least players possible and instant cast heals on yourself. DPS, use DPS cooldowns on heart phases. If you have a debuff, move out of the raid accordingly. If the debuff is Searing Light, run through the least players possible. Special MDs, assignments, Hunter MDs, crowd control on repair bots if needed. Okay, I mean, this seems pretty straightforward. I mean, it says it's easy, according to the guide. Yeah, so here they have their main tank in them here. And then Phase 1, burn boss and run bombs out. Healers save cooldowns for Tantrum. Phase 2, heart phase, burn DPS. Cooldowns and burn the heart. Damaging the heart deals increased damage to the boss. Assign add controllers. But I don't get, are ads spawning the whole fight or not? That's what I don't understand. And then, okay, so when he does Tantrum, we need AoE healing. Healer should save cooldown for this. Gravity Bomb. Split range and melee into 2 groups. Players run to whichever side doesn't have the allies. Light Bomb. Split range and melee into 2 groups. Players run to whichever side doesn't have allies. Okay. They come out at the same time. It's easy because he drops down and reveals his heart every 25% and does nothing for like 20 seconds. During that time is when I believe. Okay. Yes, they are, but it's slow ways. Okay, got it. Okay, so we want some range on the ads. Melee during heart phase should nuke the heart and cleave pummeler ads once they spawn. Off tank, pick up the pummelers and tank them beside the boss as pictured. Okay. Hurt scrap box, blah blah blah. Do not land. Okay. Prio bombs and healers. OT pick up big boys. Yeah, so that's what it looks like here. Boss is in the middle with the main tank. Off tank picks up the pummelers and tanks it right next to them, but they're all facing away. That means melee can attack the main boss and or the heart and cleave. And then range can prio the other 2 types of ads and the healers. Okay. Seems straightforward enough. So that's the first 4. Should we just stop it there? Geez, it's been 47 minutes. Holy crap, we move slow. What do you think we should do, Kath? Should we save the next batch for another time?
Sure.
First 4 seem pretty straightforward, though. Geez, the hard mode is... Oh my god. Look at the hard mode.
So much talking in the hard mode.
Optional hard mode. Very hard. I think I've seen multiple times that this hard mode's actually impossible for the first few weeks, because there's, like, you can't kill the heart, or you can't, I forget what. Like, mathematically you don't have enough DPS. Oh my god, yeah, they even have a picture. Okay. Oh, even the next boss, Iron Council, is supposed to be not that hard. There's a lot of bosses, man. Alright, so maybe we'll cut it there. We'll do it in waves. We'll do it in like 3 sections. We just did,
There's 12 bosses?
And I think there's more. 4,
Wow.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is Algalon there? Oh yeah, there's Algalon. Yeah, 14 bosses. So, okay. And what is this? Razorscale. XT. Yeah. Rogues can use feint to help mitigate damage from Tantrum. Okay. Okay, so the ads only spawn during the heart phases.
Every 25%.
Yeah. Takes double damage, so you want to... Okay. Alrighty. Okay, folks, I think we'll call it here. We'll do it in like 3 sections, maybe. We did the first 4. We'll do the next handful And we'll do the next 5 and 5, I guess. Hopefully some point this week. All right, looking forward to it. I mean, even the first 4, like, most of them look easy, but it looks like they'll be pretty fun. I think Flame Lev is like a total joke. Ignis looks kind of fun. You need a little bit of coordination. Razorscale seems pretty easy. But certainly a lot more going on than, like, Nax. So we'll see how it goes. Yo, make sure you nerds follow, too. If you haven't followed the channel, hook a brother up.
It'll be fun week 1 for sure.
Yeah, and then eventually we'll get to 25 also, right? So, like, that'll be fun, going from 10 to 25. So, Kathoric did 20 push-ups. God damn it. Verm with the follow. Thanks, Verm. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll do 20 push-ups off stream.
Wow.
Should I do them quickly?
You have to.
Oh, fine.
Can't set it up and not do it, bro.
Okay, I gotta change that to 10. Hold on, I gotta take my earphones off. I unfollow to refollow because I do as I'm told. Thanks, Digger. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oi. 6, 7.
Beyonce's gonna walk in being like, what the fuck?
9, 10. 10.
This guy did 10 push-ups and he's dying.
8, 7, 6, 5.
How does he explain this to his fiance?
4,
She's gonna walk in being like, Josh, what are you doing?
2, 1. Okay. All right.
Yeah. We got to get you to do more push-ups.
I know. Jesus Christ. Let me change that number quickly. Holy. Got those lawyer lats week back. Honestly. Hold on, let me pull this up right now. Viewer rewards, channel points. Where is it? 20. Let's make this 10 before anybody gets too excited here, you know? All right.
You mean like Digger just did?
God damn it. I think the problem is I think I know Digger has like thousands of channel points.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if I make it like 1 push-up, he could probably...
You can get a good stretch now.
Yeah, frick. Okay, at least I got to stretch before the push-ups. 20 or 10? I just changed it to 10. So, you know. What should I do? Verm, what do I do for the stretch? Oh, I could do one of these. A little bit of that. Oh, I don't want to show the guzzy. It says 20 on the chat. Okay. Oh. Little dip down for the back. Oh, that feels nice, actually. Oh, you owe me 20? Okay. Okay, fine. Hold on. I'm nothing if not honest. One sec. Gotta take the headphones off, though. Okay.
Ew. How much are we betting that his fiance walks in here?
19, 18, 17, 16.
He's getting them done.
11,
I don't have her number.
20's tough. 10, 9, 8, oi. 7, 6,
Oh, he's dying.
5, 4,
Wow, the audio sounds terrible.
2, 1. Oh my god.
Pretty sure his knees are on the ground.
Holy. Yeah?
There we go. I knew it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's yelling at him. I knew
Oh
it.
my god. Go find yourself 20-minute yoga video. Oh man. Okay. I think
Was
this
Sam asking what was going on?
No, she asked if we could go to Walmart this weekend.
Oh.
Which is very urgent decision making, you know? Hoy, okay, boys. That was fun. We'll be.
That's reasonable.
We'll be
I
back
usually,
for- What?
I usually plan my Walmart trips on Monday nights before the weekend.
Of course. It only makes sense. Okay, well, that was part 1. Damacath, that was your moment. Planned trips to Walmart, you crazy lovebirds. We'll do part 2 another night, and we'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. And anybody good I can raid? Let's go check it out. Who's online?
iGappy's online playing WoW.
Thigh Gappy. See you, Digger.
I don't really
Thanks
know
for,
him, but he is playing WoW.
Why do you keep saying bye everyone but Mish? Fun shit, thank you all. Nom nom. Dude, this guy usually gets way more viewers, no? I like rating the small guys like me. He knows why. I'm not even gonna ask. Alright, we'll do Thigh Gappy. He's got a funny name. Wait, hold on. I want to wait for the ad to end. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up Discord so I can hear his reaction. Bye.
Alright, later. Alright, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do a quick raid. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll post this recording on in the guild Discord so that if anybody wants to watch the recording or after the fact. But yeah. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
Yo, what the fuck am I talking about? You want me to invite who? You want me to invite your character? Yo, Sketch, thank you so much for the host, my man. If you're a part of the Shrimp Gang, go ahead and throw Sketch TV a follow. Thank you so much, Sketch, for the